What's up, everybody? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have an album review for you, and one that I've been eagerly anticipating since I found out it was coming out only actually a couple of weeks ago. This one almost flew under the radar, and that would have been a fucking crime because their last one was so much damn fun. We are going over the latest offering from Drain. And the album is called Is Your Friend? No question mark. They fucking are.
Well, shit, I wrote a question mark, but they're my friend.
Okay.
I'm pretty positive, pretty dead set on the fact that Drain is my friend.
I mean, it's a statement. It's not a question. They're your friend. Just, add them to your friends list.
Let them sleep on your couch.
Load them $20. Anyway, this comes out on the 7th of November on Epitaph Records. This band formed in 2015 in Santa Cruz, California. This is their third album overall. I have been a fan since their debut, California Cursed. Again, we went over their last album, Living Proof, which was just riffy fucking fun.
Mm-hmm.
And this band just exudes fun. It's not just in their bright artwork. Their band photos frequently involve heavy smiling, especially in part of their frontman, Sammy, who is, I don't know, just like a beacon of like both youthful angst and just outright fun. Like, I don't doubt for a second he enjoys the shit out of what he does.
Yeah, when I take pictures with people, I also tend to be a little bit overly animated, like, and that's how this guy appears in every photo, and I'm just like, you know what? This dude, I'm betting, would probably be a blast to hang out with. Just, how you doing, man? I'm great. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if these guys are like straight edge or anything like that, whether they drink or, California sober. What that is. They seem like they'd be fun to hang out with.
I myself actually got California sober in preparation to listen to this album. I thought it was very appropriate because I'm going to be honest, the overall tone and vibe of this record as we get into it here, I felt like I was in California. Like, I've visited California a few times now. Of course, we're from Ohio, but every now and again I'll go out to the West Coast, and every time I've been out there, it's been a blast. I haven't had any complaints.
And this album kind of just embodies California, especially like 90s California. This band is a blend of crossover thrash, I would even say like groove metal, as well as like hardcore in there. This band is just riffy fun. And again, all of their sound, even their image, even their artwork, it kind of just exudes this, kind of like fun, cheerful, gleeful, but still rowdy, and yeah, I might like burn down this house for fun sort of energy. And that's exactly what I want out of this band.
Now, one thing I'm going to say right here at the beginning, since I've got time and since a majority of people are probably still watching the video, curious to know what we had to say. Drain, if you're watching this video, I went on your Bandcamp to see if I could find a t-shirt that has the cover of the new album on it, and I couldn't find it. I'm hoping that's a thing because I will 100% wear it, no questions asked.
And this new art was actually designed by a buddy of ours, James Fusama, who's done amazing artwork for Spirit World, Municipal Waste. Just an incredible artist. I love this design. Apparently it came out of this band's, Sammy's love of Cupid dolls, and then them just sort of making it their own. It's like, yeah, it's put them in a shark costume on a beach. That's us. That's a mascot.
Yeah.
And honestly, it kind of represents this album. Like, this album, it's heavy, it's got teeth, much like that shark costume, and it's infectiously fun. Every song on here I thought was just like a good time, much like I thought on Living Proof, except I feel like this is the more refined version. We didn't change up anything on the production front. It's the same guys that handled it last time, who I didn't write down their names, my bad. But this album is chock full of thrashy, just fun, riffy energy, hardcore breakdowns a fucking plenty, shouted, growled vocals from Sammy, and he's probably smiling the entire time he's doing it. I don't know how. I just need to see him live. But every song in here packs a punch, and it pretty much does kind of everything that the last album did, except maybe arguably a little bit better.
We noticed that gone were some of the elements of the previous record where they had some like downright death metal type breakdowns, and there weren't too many of those moments. It was predominantly thrash and hardcore, which I'm not against whatsoever. I think this record is just a pinch groovier too. There's a lot of tracks. Can't Be Bothered, Loudest in the Room, which I really like that song. Living in a Memory, or the downright banger Darkest Days, which I think is probably the heaviest song on the album. In fact, there's not a moment of that song that I didn't thoroughly enjoy. Like, something tells me that when I can get a hold of this record, actually, that's going to be played in the car, cranked to 20, at all times, driving down the expressway. Like, it's a beatdown.
The thing that sucks about that one is we don't have California weather to roll down our windows and share with everyone that, what we're listening to. It's cold and miserable here in Ohio because that's how we roll 9 months out of the year.
In fact, just a couple days from now, it'll be down in the teens already.
Old man winter, bite my ass. Anyway, yeah, the grooves on here, they hit hard. They feel anthemic. They feel powerful. The thing that, again, I like about this band is it kind of ties in with their image and their like embodiment of their locale, but also the fact that they're fun. Like, you look up pictures of these guys, like, rarely do you find one where they're all just, like, mean mugging the fucking camera, like every hardcore band. Hardcore bands, honestly, you know what? I'm all for hardcore bands smiling in a picture every now and then, just to throw it off. But, I mean, it's a lot of mean mugging. This, I mean, it still packs every ounce of angst and every ounce of just rage and, like, just being young and fucking stuck in a very confusing world and a very confusing time. All of that. But there's, like, a bit of levity here where, it doesn't always feel like you're just, like, latched into the anger. Like, you're kind of latched into the fun. Like, this is also about, like, letting out that energy. And every song in here has these moments where, like, the fuse is lit. And it's just off to the fucking races. You hear, like, an isolated snare. You hear Sammy yell something. Doesn't matter. You're on to the next riff, and there's a good chance they're going to fucking halftime it. And, well, whatever venue you're at, I hope their insurance premiums are paid up.
You said isolated snare, and I guess now, before I forget about it, would be a good time to bring it up on the last track, Until Next Time, which is an upbeat beatdown for sure. I know it sounds like it's counterproductive to want another upbeat beatdown, but it's a thing. Anyway, there's a groove in there. It's probably one of my favorite actual grooves on the record, is when you get to the back half of the riff, it's just got this isolated snare hit, and I don't know, to me, that just screams like extra kind of fuck you energy.
Well, it's almost like a vacuum moment there. Like,
yeah,
the bass cuts out, the guitar's cut out, Sammy's not yelling or anything like that. You just have this perfect pocket to hear the reverb on that snare, and that snare shot, like, that's the one that everyone's gonna be like fucking floor punching to.
Yep.
Everything about this album, and I would say, the band in particular, is about energy, maintaining it, and constantly kind of like morphing it. Because a lot of these songs are definitely a blend. Like, you go from like thrashy beatdown sections with machine gun riffs and blazing fucking leads. Like, the leads in here, very short, but they are very well done. Lots of like flashy tapping here and there. It just sounds classic. Like, it sounds like early 90s, late 80s crossover thrash. Like, I mean, for them, think like Suicidal Tendencies, Excel, shit like that. But those go into like these just beefy, gnarly, hardcore breakdowns. And in between there's like this flirtation with like old school 90s groove metal. Like, I hear like Pantera moments on here.
100%.
I hear prong moments on here. A lot of fun squealies and the guitar work that just reeks of like Tommy Victor. All of it kind of comes together as this like swirl of 90s energy. And honestly, if I had heard this shit as a teen, I would have been nuts for it. Like, this would have been like one of my favorite bands. Scared of Everything and Nothing. That would have been my hardcore anthem. That would have been
100%.
Fuck you fucking anthem that I would fucking rage in my room to until my mom screamed at me. He's like, dude, get the fuck down here. It's time for dinner. And I'd be like, yeah, okay, Mom.
I'll come down for dinner, but I'm not going to listen.
And I'm not going to talk to anyone.
I'm going to break this table.
Yeah. No, I would be grounded as fuck. Are you kidding? But almost all these songs just kind of like do that. They kind of swirl around this 90s maelstrom of just perfect amounts of rage. Like, I'm getting, again, reminded of like all the metal that I listen to and all the hardcore I listen to. Dude, Nothing But Love, another vicious song. It's a weird mix of like just like heavy thrash, like Bay Area thrash specifically, like Testament and Exodus, and then kind of mix that in with like, again, like hardcore and groove metal energy, like Sick of It All. And fucking, another band we'll probably go over here this weekend, Agnostic Front. Just a lot of that early crossover energy. And honestly, a bit of melody, too. Like, all these songs definitely have, like, just a couple of moments of melody. Some of them have, almost all melody. But there's always something kind of clever to, like, the riff work, the song construction. And that was something on the last album where I still really like that kind of, like, just youthful, knee-jerk energy in terms of the transitions and such. Like, some of them were a little bit jagged, but overall it worked. Here, I feel like they're a little bit more smoothed out, and when it comes down to those transitions, there's more momentum carried into the next part.
They do a great job with builds. Like, every time they start a build riff, by the time you get to the end of it, the energy is so welled up that you're ready to go into that breakdown, because they always do a great job of transitioning out. But like builds in particular on this are just super like, all right, here we go, here we go, here we go. All right, throw a table. It's happening.
And what they build into is generally pretty awesome. Like generally every track in here ends on some absolutely stupid, heavy, awesome breakdown. That was kind of the thing on Living Proof. That is definitely the thing on here. But again, it's that sort of like cleverness in terms of like, mixing up the styles a little bit. Like some of these songs definitely do the whole blend thing really well. Nights Like These in particular, there is this whole machine gun riff. Yeah. Like you expect like something like fast and thrashy, like you're about to take off like a fucking Municipal Waste track, but it lays down this hardcore groove behind it while this guitar is just fucking scorching. So you get this really cool contrast there. Like there was definitely stuff like that showed up in Living Proof, but there's also songs that have more of like an individual like sort of sound where they kind of embody one particular style. Like again, Scared of Everything and Nothing, that's a pure hardcore banger. The only thing metal about that one might be the ripping solo on there, but everything about that song just screams, I mean, shit I would have fucking bought on Victory Records back in the 90s. Shit I did buy back in the 90s on Victory Records. Let's rephrase that.
And then you also have another standout track, Who's Having Fun? And by this point in the record, I guarantee you everyone's having fun. I had fun, we had a great time. And that's a straight punk anthem. I myself was never a big fan of punk. I'm still not a big fan of punk, but I can recognize it as being a pretty neat little song. I'll let Nick take over and talk about punk.
It's kind of similar to what they did in the last album with their cover of Descendants' Good Things, which I love that song. I love Descendants. This kind of has like, that Lagwagon, Pennywise sort of sound. Like it's, definitely more melodic, but it's still very angsty. The lyrics are still fucking, calling out people because, it's still fucking punk. It's still in your face, but they're doing it with like a little bit of tunefulness. And Sammy's cleans are pretty solid. Like he's got like kind of like I wouldn't call it like a baritone, but like a kind of like lower tenor, maybe alto. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I was in the choir in the 7th grade. 7th grade was a very long time ago, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I've had this fucking voice since I was a teenager. It's like bass. Like, all right.
I've had this voice since I was in elementary school.
But I like that song because you can still feel like that youthful energy. It's just approached it differently. Like, it's still kind of loaded with the angst, the insecurities of, still being young. But it has, like, the energy behind it. Like, I wish I could, like, distill down the, like, pissed off teenager energy on here, put it into, like, a fucking pill, take it, and then reverse all the damage in my fucking knees. Oh. Like, I know. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be awesome.
Can you add that to your Bandcamp?
Yeah, actually, yeah. It will take drain in pill form. But it has, like, again, like, the youthful confusion, too, which I'm beyond happy with where my brain's at. I just want my body to not hurt just, moving.
That is fair.
But like I said, that one embodies their entire punk sound, but then you get down to Darkest Days, which is right after that. It's probably the most metal song on the album. Like, it is pure metal riffs. There's even like a fucking disco, like hi-hat stomp on it. Every single second of that song is just pure mosher energy.
Like, remember when Machine Head could write songs? This is a take from Pantera and Machine Head and Prong in the 90s, and it kind of embodies that. Like, the whole thing is groovy, it's more syncopated, the vocals are syncopated, but it's definitely their groove metal anthem. And once again, speaking of embodiment of the whole California groove, all the music, especially down in SoCal where these guys are from, the beach, why not go ahead and just incorporate a little bit of hip-hop again? Do the end of Can't Be Bothered. It's Cypress Hill.
It's Cypress Hill.
So if these guys aren't straight edge, they're definitely California sober.
Yeah, it was a fun little bit of atmosphere. Like, they had like a more hip-hop oriented track that was on the last one that, for me, that one didn't necessarily fit. But this little nugget of pure, like, 90s West Coast hip-hop, it kind of perfectly works. And going into Loudest in the Room, it's kind of cool because this is probably the lone section of, like, big atmosphere. Like, there's a stormy night build up into that one. And that one goes, like, full bore, like, Kill 'Em All Metallica. Except for, like, the last half of the song, which is just an absolutely stupid heavy breakdown. And all right, well, that kind of leads me into my only complaints about this album, because I loved every single second on here. But here's the thing, there's not enough single seconds for me to love. It's only like 25 minutes. I think maybe 27. I might be being generous there. There's not enough. There's not enough. I like too much of this, and I feel like there should be more in terms of like drawing out certain sections. Like, again, a lot of these songs will end in some absolutely fucking killer breakdown. We're like, oh shit, I could fucking punch a stranger in the face to this.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But then it kind of cuts off too shortly, or it'll halftime it for like another measure, and then it's done. All I'm saying is draw them out like a couple more measures each, because they're that fucking good. Do a long fade out at the end of them. Something. Like, I feel like, you know, you get teased a little bit on these songs in terms of like, holy shit, that's an amazing riff. Like, the songs that do it really well in terms of like, you know, being a shorter song but still being effective throughout. Again, Scared of Everything and Nothing.
Yep.
You get, you know, a repeat of that chorus. That chorus fucking riff is just gnarly as shit. But there are songs in here where, again, that last breakdown or the breakdown that comes to the bridge or whatever, it just doesn't hang on long enough, and it's too good to not draw out.
Yeah, Living in a Memory does it. And where it cuts off, too, you get that breakdown maybe for a measure and a half, and it's gone. You're just like, dude, come on. Or the end of Until Next Time, the last track, when they halftime that.
Ugh.
You could have halftimed that and dry humped that for another, like, minute and a half, and then faded out on it. Done some, like, dive bomb squealies. It would have been fucking sick. Not to say that this record isn't sick, because it is, but I will agree it's a little short. Now, also, you know, punk and hardcore, how long would you like these songs to be? Like, you know, look at Hatebreed Satisfaction's Death of Desire. Most of those tracks are 2.5 minutes, and you're like, well, I mean, record's a banger. Like, record's still a banger, so that complaint is minor.
Yeah.
It's a very minor gripe.
Well, it's a testament to like how good the material is on here. Like, you want more of it. Because in terms of like composition or production or like any of the other things we could possibly harp on, there's really not a lot of complaints I could make at all. Like I said, this is like a bigger, more refined version of the last album. And while it did lose some things I like, I think it gained just like better overall songwriting. Every song in here whooped ass. And I'm going to go ahead and give it 4.5 stars. This is a banger. And problematic again because this is a late in the year banger. And there's a lot of stuff already on my list. And I feel fucking remiss if I left this one off because it's that fucking good. Like, this one speaks to me on like just a like modern musical level. Like, I just really dig this, but this also has that nostalgic appeal. Like, this reminds me of like, you know, going to record stores and picking up bands just based on, you know, some artwork, like whether it's hardcore or thrash metal or death metal. It has that vibe. The production, I mean, these crisp guitars, that's a guitar tone that I've been in love with for fucking years. Every song is energetic. All these songs speak to a much younger me that isn't dependent on ibuprofen to move, and I love it. Like, this makes me think I could mosh, but luckily my brain isn't that stupid, so, you know, I won't be moshing to this if I see this band live, but believe me, I really want to. If you are a big fan of, Pantera, DRI, I'll even throw in Knocked Loose for a little bit. Like, if you're a Knocked Loose fan and you want to hear like something that's a little bit more of a throwback to like earlier, like kind of groove-laden metallic hardcore, check this out too. Again, Pantera, Prong too.
Yeah.
Sick of it all. Just fucking check this album out, and if you dig it, just go ahead and check out their other two, because guess what? They're both awesome.
How do I top that? Except to also say it's a 4.5. There wasn't a second on this record that I didn't enjoy. What is this, like a happy beatdown? Like, the energy is there. It's got a lot of like, we're gonna pound you into the ground type of thing, but we're gonna do it while we're smiling, and there might be things like inflatable ducks or something. Who knows? Maybe an inflatable shark. There probably is one. But yeah, it's a real good time. Once again, I felt like I was in Cali, and I'm not. I'm in Ohio, where not all is happy, and it's miserable and cold and gray, and it's going to last the rest of our lives. I wish this record would have lasted the rest of my life. Albeit a little short, it kicks ass. I need to find my Jinko jeans and just have a good time.
This album makes me proud to still wear a chain wallet. That's how fucking 90s this is.
Yep. The riffs are catchy, they're fun, they're mixed up appropriately. Like, you don't get too much groove and too much thrash all at once. Like, each one of these tracks brings a little bit something different to the table. You even get your Cypress Hill hip hop moment. Tons of groove, great vocals. The album is mixed appropriately. You get the crunchy guitar, you get a little bit of crust in the bass, the drums are punchy. Like, this whole record is just, once again, a beat down. Venues need to up their insurance premiums to have these guys on the bill. We would love to see you all here. Please, Detroit, Cleveland, whatever you have to do, we would love to see you here. But yeah, the record kicks ass. If you're into bands like, dude, Old School Sepultura, Metallica, Exodus, Anthrax, Hatebreed, Municipal Waste, Agnostic Front, all that shit. If you're into any of that, man, check this record out. Another banger from Drain.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We also have memberships. They're only 99 cents. And our Lone Perk is doing a members-only live stream, which we'll probably do one sometime close to Thanksgiving, which will be the last week of November, I think. I don't know. I know it's on a Thursday, and I know there's a place I have to be on that Thursday, and it's the same time every year, so, you know, whatever. The holidays stop being interesting after Halloween, in my opinion. Anyway, memberships are the main way to support the channel, and if you'd like to join up, there is a fucking join button down there for you to just go in elbows first and fucking dive into that. Make sure you see that join button spit some teeth. I don't know. I don't think it has teeth, but if you get some teeth out of it, that's scary, but also impressive.
And even if you don't smash that join button, it's totally fine. We do tons of non-member only stuff. Non-members only live streams, which are just as dumb, if not dumber, than the members only live streams. Album reviews, discography rankings, multiple discussion forums, Nick's never-ending collection updates, all metal all the time. It's what we do here at Thralls of Metal. And we do it for you guys, because goddammit, we appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to interact and watch our content. It means the world to us. It doesn't really make any sense to us why you do, but we're so glad you do. Thanks.
Yeah, you guys absolutely rule. Tons of content coming your way. So one more big thank you due to all your rulage, and we will catch you later.